Hey everybody, this is DM Mike, and today I wanted to take a quick peek at Chapter 6 through Tabletop Simulator. If you are a player in my campaign, just go ahead and turn this video off. Don't even watch it. Maybe in November, watch it, but for right now, if you do, you're going to spoil your experience in this, in Chapter 6 of Hoard of the Dragon Queen. Now, I haven't been doing a lot of these. I just kind of forget to record. I'm going to go back and I'm going to show a little bit of Chapter 3, the Dragon Hatchery, what I did there, which is pretty straightforward. But I kind of want to go ahead and just highlight what I'm starting to do with Chapter 6. Chapter 6 does have a few maps in it, more than I think the other previous chapters, but it's also just as heavily populated, tons of encounters, which I'm going to nix about 60% of them. I think it's just, again, it's just overwhelming and too much. But I wanted to go ahead and start this idea of creating this swamp environment. It's been hard to find maps out there that are free that you could just find and use, but I felt like, you know what, let's embellish it like we did with the Stragglers map and the Rear Guard map, and let's bring some 3D elements to it. So I'm using Tabletop Simulator to do this. If you've not used this program, you will often find it on sale through Steam and Humble Bundle. Just recently, earlier this week or last, it was on sale for 50% off. I've put about 100 hours in this thing. It is completely worth it. If you're used to Roll20, Fantasy Grounds, I get it. It's online kind of stuff. This also can be played online. It's just a new and different experience. I fell in love with it back in January of this year, 2018, and I was like, I was so excited. I couldn't wait to start using this stuff. But anyway, I'm a little ahead of myself. So, okay, so let's look at, just real briefly, the first sketches, I would say, of... where am I at? The Mirror of Dead Men. All right, so this is what I've got so far. It's kind of a mess, so apologize. No, we're not gonna worry about that. So here it is right now. Like, it's just an absolute disaster, right? I mean, it just looks terrible. But I've started off really just in this corner. And as you can see, a matter of fact, I think I got a little bit more done on my laptop computer. But this is where the characters will begin their adventure. Let me kind of maybe turn this off here. But the book talks about, you know, it's easy to get lost. There's paths and whatnot. But I'm starting that. I'm starting to work out little details. There's a path in here. There'll be a path over here. And I'm trying to break up the swamp into certain elements. So right now I got a lot of white ivory trees around here. You can see there's a little broken pillar in here. Here's the kind of a foreshadowing of clan type lizards and the bullywugs and stuff. So here you can see like this pole with all the skulls on it. It's kind of near the entrance. Here is another pillar in here. This is all kind of ruins. Here's a little bit more. These are all that you can find, all the stuff, all these models you can find on the workshop, which makes this thing so invaluable. But you can find it on the workshop. That's where I found all these trees, and a lot of these trees are just, there's about 6 variants, but I have just kind of repeated them, made a few really big, others little, very small, things like that. So right now, it's not too impressive. It looks better on my laptop, to be honest, because I did a little more work on there, especially with lighting, where I gave it kind of a night feel. But you can see this is, it's awesome. It really is awesome. Matter of fact, when I'm usually building a map like this, I'll play the ambient effect that's a part of it. So I have like a swamp ambient effect that runs for about 30 minutes. And wow, if you play that and you're looking at this, it just matches up so beautifully. Not to brag, but it looks one of those things where things work out. It's just awesome. But I got some torches, some effects going on. Now here on my table, I've got a couple other elements that I might use at some point. You can kind of set this stuff out if you're doing that. Here's like these large swamp green trees I'm going to put later on, some extra bushes, some grass, some different bushes here. This is like a rain cube. This is where all this rain right now is coming from. I don't know if it's the frame rate is picking it up on the video, but it's there. This is probably, I think, steam. And of course, here's some like fire. And these are some water elements, which I don't think I really like. But here are some moss rocks and some other like trunks. This is the actual game board piece that I'm using. It's kind of both same side, you know, it's just the same image on both sides. And of course I have all this that I've not done yet. And over here you can see even more trees that I've got ready to go, various sizes, and then of course some larger trees here. And then what I'm doing for the background, just to make some, to quote Back to the Future, density, I'm putting like these big rocks all around and these huge bushes. Now the bush really is this small. Like, that's what it is. But what I did is just kind of blow it up to make it look like, if you get down in here, I wish I could raise this camera just a bit more. You probably can, I just haven't figured it out yet. But just to make it look more dense in here, just it looks like as the characters, because we'll be doing it from here, like this will be our point of view. We're not going to be up here where they can see everything. We're going to be right down in here. But you know, as you look through, things look very dense, and it looks like there's a lot of vegetation. The background right now is kind of a static. This is just a farm. I'm not sure what this image is, just the basic one it comes with. This will be a night sky most likely, or a dark forest, which will also add to atmosphere. And so basically what I'm doing, I'm going to get a piece of paper and pencil and start mapping out what I want things to, how I want things to look. But you know, we have these white ivory trees, and here you can see some effects with mist and smoke. It's a little cube, which I think is like right there. Yeah, there it is. See, I can move it around, plop it right there. And of course, that starts to add like a little bit of atmosphere and suspense in a way, you know, and just gives that feeling of the bog, gives a little more reality. But yeah, I've kind of sprinkled it with some statues and broken pillars. I actually have a lot more models that I can put on here that I'm going to do at some point. Here's a stump that's apparently fallen over. But what I plan to do is the characters will start off in this area, and then as they get further into the swamp, new and different trees will start to emerge, these big gray ones, eventually these larger swamp trees with no vegetation whatsoever. I'm thinking about doing the spider encounter somewhere in here. I'm going to try to either design my own webbing or see if I can find something, but they'll kind of walk into that. And eventually, I actually have some models that are boats that I can put in here. And there's actually a dock too that I have. But this map here is mainly for those first few encounters when they first enter the swamp. And then after that, I'm just going to stick with the original maps that are set and ready for this adventure. Because a lot of times the 2D maps actually do work fine. They work good. I really wish I could spend the time to bring like Castle, whatever it is, Nater, whatever. Wish I could bring it to life, and you could spend the time doing that, and it would be awesome. And I wish I had the time to do it, but I have to pick and choose my battles. So right now, I knew that the swamp could be atmospheric, and that's where I wanted to spend my energy. So the characters will be slowly moving their way through here, and of course they can go through the no, don't do that, don't do that. There we go. Oh, it's gonna be stupid. All right, and go through the arches. And of course, there'll be more stuff fleshed out here. I'm trying to think if I could show you any other models here. So you can go in your objects, saved objects. I've broken everything down into folders. I got props here. All this stuff, I just go through and find the stuff. Like here's a statue of a king. Probably could pop that in there. Here's a signpost, just like a large skull. Wall spiked. I want to actually put that in there. So I got props. Land textures is filled with all kinds of different things, different rocks, logs, swamp terrain. This huge thing of water right now, it's acting a little weird. It's like floating too high. It's really a pain in the butt to work with, so I'm not sure what's happening with that. Ruins. Here's where all my ruins are. Here's like a broken statue, broken sticks, crates and ruins, broken wells. Here's like some broken ruined boats and some walls. A lot of fun, just a lot of fun to use. Let's go to the second one. Spell tokens, town buildings, trees. This is where a lot of my trees have come from. Just various swamp trees and regular trees. I have like this thing called tribal props, and this is like random junk, you know, coins and beers, the hanging bones, lanterns, skull and rock. Matter of fact, let me just here's like a tribal camp. We'll just put it out there. We can look at it. This is the kind of stuff. There's a moment in chapter 6 where they come to a campsite. This is what I'll probably use. As you can see, it's a little set piece. It's all ready to go, and you can just keep embellishing it if you wanted to. Tribal props, so we could say like there's some random junk. There we go. A little more random junk for them. Maybe they're cutting wood. There we go. And then you could say, well, here's a stick torch, and we could put we could shrink it down a little bit, and maybe put some fire on there. And of course, this will look better if it's not on a white blank tile. But you know, old crates, maybe they were gathering food to eat, so we can kind of shrink that down, maybe turn it a little bit, copy it, boop boop. kind of stack them on top of each other or something like that. They've been messed with. Here's maybe a stone fireplace. Whoa, things are flipping out. And maybe you could put a fire there. So pretty quickly you can come up with some very interesting things. I've got stuff kind of all over here. Some of the stuff has not been as organized as it should be. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to show you another sample. As you can see, I have a lot of work to do and only a few weeks to get things prepped, including radio dramas and other maps that still need to be prepped. Chapter 6 is a beast, and I'm definitely going to be cutting down on it as I slowly make my way through. Now, I will update this video, or I'll actually post another one that'll have the end result, so you can look at it and see how I put things together. But right now, there's a lot more work. And like I said, my laptop actually has a little more updated version of this, which I'm surprised it didn't upload. Actually, you know what? Now that I've got you here, let me try something here, because you can do lighting. Here we go. We're going to do the sky. And I think no, let's do this. So here's LUT, which I'm not really sure. Look up texture. Okay, so this, as you can see, changes a lot of stuff. And I think I did like 46, nightfall. There it is. Yeah, I can't believe I remember that. So this is some of it. Here's the swamp at night. And you can still adjust it. That's just a stock default number. I can go in there and twist and tweak things. But look at that. I mean, it just kind of creates a whole new sense to it. And then, of course, you throw in ambient effects. It just, boom, comes to life on the screen. And I tell you, if you haven't messed with any of this stuff, my players who have never experienced this before are loving it. They're loving the digital tabletop. They're loving me move their tokens and my tokens, the enemies, instead of them having to stand up at the table, look at everything, move, sit back down, reorganize their things. Like, it's really been a game changer, literally, for me and for my players. And from now on till I die, I'm going to be using digital tabletops. I know the popular thing is Roll20, Fantasy Grounds. Yes, those are great. I love them, but I like this. It just gives me a sense of verisimilitude, and that's what I am always about, is the verisimilitude. If I can get closer to that with each element of my game, I'm going to push for it. So anyway, all right, guys, that's it. I'm going to go ahead and let you go, and I will update this map in the future, and so you can see the finished results and look at all the effects and different things I added. All right, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey guys, this is D and Mike. I want to just real quick, I know I just ended the video, but I want to fire it back up again and just let this play for about a minute, maybe 30 seconds to a minute, and just so you can hear the ambient effect with with the map itself, even though it's in its early stages, just with the map. So just give it a listen, let it soak in, and you can see kind of the power, I think, of this visual element and the audio put together. All right, so I'm going to run it for about 30 seconds to a minute. Enjoy.